I welcome you all for this video lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn about what is frames, how we can create a frame, what is the use of frames, how those frames are used to create our websites. These things we are going to learn. Myself as Anand Christie, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application. First of all, we must know what is frames. Frame is used to divide our browser window into multiple sections. For example, we know how to create a table. A table contains rows and columns. That rows and columns having a different sections. That is row and column separately. Likewise, frames also used to divide our page into a different portions. Each portion can be loaded separately. For example, if our web page can have 4 framings, we can load 4 separate HTML documents in our single web page. That frames can be divided into several sections near different portions. A collection of frames is called a frame set. A browser can have a frame set in that we're having a several frames. That is, a frame can be divided in a portions like 20% or 80% likewise. The window is divided into frames in a similar way, the table organized into rows and columns. In our example, we can clearly able to understand what is frame, how we can use frames in our web page. Here we can see frame set tag. First one, a frame set tag defines how to divide the window into frames. That is a portion. The first frame, how much space can be occupied, and second frame, how much space can be occupied. It can be reserve a space into a page. A frame set tag having attributes called rows and columns. Like we will have same in a table tag also. A rows attribute used to defines a horizontal frames. A columns attribute used to define a vertical frames. Each frame is indicated by a frame tag. So we can understand frame set tag is indicating a space, how much space of each frame will be occupying. In that we are having a several frames. We can see a small example how to do that. Here having a HTML page, document type HTML, then a tag contains a title tag, that is HTML frames. Then we can see a frame set. Here a body tag is missing. Then within a frame set, we can divide our pages into 3 portions. we can see frame set rows equal to 10 percentage, comma 80 percentage, comma 10 percentage. Likewise, your frames can be divided. That is first frame. Frame name equal to top. SRC, that is frame where is available. In which folder it is stored. That path is mentioning here. Then that page is occupying first 10% of that window. Then second frame, main. Frame name is main. Then SRC is a location where that frame, that is a page is appearing. That page can occupy in that window about 80 percentage. And third one is bottom. A frame name is bottom. That frames contains a bottom frame.html that occupies about 10 percentage. Here we can see that we are dividing a page into percentage, 10 percentage, 80 percentage and 10 percentage. Then if a frame can't able to load, that is can't support by a browser, a no frames tag will be appear. That is, your browser does not support frames, a message will be appear. It is in case a browser doesn't support. Otherwise, your frames will be loaded as a 10 percentage, 80 percentage, and 10, again 10 percentage. Likewise, we can see calls attribute. Calls attribute specifies how many columns are contained in the frame set, the size of each column. We can mention a width of each column in the following ways. First one is absolute values in pixels. That is, we can create vertical frames. First example showing that we are creating 3 vertical frames. Calls equal to 100, 500, 100. Here, first portion occupies 100 pixels, then second portion 500, and third one 100. Second one is a percentage of window. We already saw in our example 10 percentage, 80 percentage, again 10 percentage. Then wildcard symbol. Here we are using first page contains 10 percentage, then second asterisk symbol, then again 10 percentage. In that both 10 percentage, that is top and bottom, will be displayed. The remaining space will be occupied by a middle of the window. That is called wildcard symbol. Then rows. This attribute works like columns attributes. It takes the same values, but it is used to specify the rows in the frame set. For example, to create a 2 horizontal frames, use rows equal to 10 percentage, 90 percentage. Then first 10 percentage will be occupy first one, then second frame occupy the 90 percentage. We can specify the height of each row in the same way as explained the above columns. We can mention height. Next one is what is frame set attributes. Here we are having border attribute. This attribute specifies width of the border of each frame in a pixels. For example, border equal to 5. Then we can see a border. If we mention border equal to 0, it means there is no border at all. By mentioning the border is equal to 5 or 6, a border in a line space width will be more and more. If we mention 1, it will be a small line. If you mention 2, again the thickness will be increased. Again, if it is 5 means a border will be increased in a thickness. Then second one is frame border. This attribute specify whether a three-dimensional border should be displayed between frames. Then this attribute takes either value. 1 means yes, 0 means no. For example, frame border equal to no specifies no border. Then frame spacing. This attribute specifies the amount of space between frames in a frame set. This can take any integer value. For example, frame spacing equal to 10. It means there should be 10 pixel spacing between each frame. If in our page contains 3 frame means each frames having a difference in the sense a space of 10 pixels. So each page having a spacing, first frame, second frame having a spacing of 10 pixels. Then we can see what is the attributes of frame tag. First one is src. Already we know that src means it mentioning the path of that file. It is used to file, gives the file name that is loaded on that frame. Second one is name. This attribute allows to give a name of the frame. We can mention a name for that particular frame. Then frame border. This attribute specify whether a border will be displayed or not. If it is 1, a border will be specified. If it is 0, there is no border at all. Then margin width. This attribute allows to specify the width of the space between the left and right of the borders. That is left and right of the frame border having a width. Second one is margin height. It is used to height of the space between the top and bottom of the frame borders. Here we are mentioning that example margin height equal to 10. Then no resize. By default, you can resize our frames, that we can drag a frame into one size to another. But if you mention no resize, a frame can't able to resize. That is the use of no resize attributes. It prevents a user from being able to resize the frame. Then scrolling. This attribute controls the appearance of the scroll bars that appear on the frame. Again, having the values like yes or no type. Scrolling no means you can't able to scroll. It means a scroll bars won't be appear. If it is yes, a scroll bars will be appear on that frame. We can scroll and view the remaining things. Thank you for watching.